Well, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Today, we're going to take a look at the Artisan Biome. This is a cool, modern slip joint designed by Artisan and specifically designed by Dylan Mallory, who has designed a bunch of my favorite Artisan knives. Dylan is also just a super cool guy. I've had the opportunity to hang out with him, and he's awesome. And he designs great knives. Now, this is a little guy, as you can see. It is, a small knife, but as I said, it is non-locking. It has some great walk and talk. It is just a fun, cool knife that I think is worth your time, and I know it was worth mine. So let's take a look at what you get. Well, you get a 12C27 blade steel blade, which is Sandvik steel, and it is one of my favorite budget steels because it is really corrosion resistant, I know how to speak, and it holds an edge very, very well. You get a very thin slice of it as well, so it comes down here to a very nice edge. Now this one has a little bit of a smile back here. The blade doesn't come all the way down to the plunge, which is not awesome, but it's a $30 knife, so Artisan makes good knives. I have a bunch of them. I have had a bunch of them, and I will continue to have them because they make quality product. This one, as you can see, has no pocket clip. It is a pocket dropper. My dog has found one of her squeaky balls. So, yep, hang on just a second. I love my dog, but her fascination with squeaky balls just when I'm trying to make videos is a never-ending source of both amusement and irritation. All right, so where were we? Yes, the Biome. Okay. So what do you get? Well, as I said, you get a 12C27 Sandvik steel blade that is done very, very well. It comes in at 2 3/4 of cutting on just under 3 inches of Sandvik steel, which means it's going to be legal in a bunch of places. As I mentioned, it is non-locking, which is also going to help it be legal in a bunch of places. The grip area is 1, 2, 3, a little over 3.5, which means that even in my big hand, all right, I still get a nice grip on it. Now, this is not a hard use knife. It's too small for me to be such a thing, but as a drop in the pocket and go ultralight carry, it is exceptionally good at what it's for. It has a lanyard space back here. You'd have to use very thin lanyard cord, but you could do it. I don't lanyard, but you might. The overall knife is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6.5 and a little bit. So it is really a convenient size. Now closed, it is 1, 2, 3, just under 4 inches. As I said, it's a small knife. It's very thin, but it is a really, really good daily sort of user. If you work in an office where having a big knife that hangs out of your pocket, something like this, isn't going to suit you or serve, or you wear dress pants a lot and you need something light, the Biome here is an excellent option. Because it is a smaller knife, I haven't really put it to a ton of hard use. Why would I? But I have used it for packages and food and some small rope and cordage, things I generally cut to test out a knife, and it is a completely sufficient little knife. It has a great nail nick here for opening, right, if you're into such a thing. But the way it's designed, you can just grab the blade and pull it open. It does take 2 hands to open it, as a lot of non-locking sort of modern traditionals do. Dylan has an aesthetic that I really find appealing. He likes lean knives with a lot of belly in the blade, and that combination lends itself to sort of a more refined carry, but a lot of really good cutting surface. Because of the way this knife is designed, you can get the tip down easily with a full grip, but if you hold it like this, you can get that down onto the cutting surface really, really well, which is very nice. Let's do some size comparisons. What should we compare it to today? Well, okay, based on what I have on the table. Here it is, of course, against the Benchmade bug out, because I always have one of these handy. And as you can see, the bug out dwarfs this thing because it is a small knife. but it's a small knife in a really well done way. It doesn't really interfere with my ability to use it. Here it is against the Monterey Bay Knives XLC, which is a big knife. And as you can see, it's just dwarfed. I have a review of this coming. It might be this week, it might be next. They are kind of hard to get, but this was a gift for my birthday, and I really want to take some time with it and share it with you guys, so we'll get back to that later. But for now, let's focus on the Biome. I don't have a ton of slip joints. You know, it's just not really my kind of knife. This one, in fact, belongs to Women Carry Knives. She loves it because she can drop this into her pocket or purse and it basically disappears, and yet she has with her a knife that is completely reliable, and that is super cool and also really what these are for. Now, mine, or ours, I should say, the centering is perfect. There is no blade rock or play, and unlike a lot of sort of inexpensive, slip joints, this is got standard screws, so you can take it apart if you wanted to, and you could, in fact, tighten or adjust the pivot if you had to. A lot of sort of traditionals, like this one, they're pressed, and so if you get blade play or the blade moves, you're done. Artisan has decided not to have that be the case with the Biome, and they've made it along the lines of a much more modern pocket knife, which allows you to do maintenance and repair it if need be, which I think is very, very cool. Now, one of its absolute strongest points is how light it is. Now, this one happens to be carbon fiber. They do make them in other handle materials. I think there's a micarta one, and I know that there is a jade G10 and a couple of other G10 versions as well. So this little knife comes in at 1.3 ounces, which is, I mean, it's virtually not there, right? Now, of course, the bug out, which is right here, comes in at 1.8 ounces. So this is heavier than this, but not by much. But this is a much more traditional pocket knife. Clip and everything. That makes it a little more bulky to just drop into the pocket. The Biome just disappears. And yet, as I've mentioned a couple of times, it is really, really good to hold, even with my big old meat hooks. I think this is a stellar design. Now, this knife's been out for 3 or 4 months, but they are still available. You can get them on Blade HQ for about $31, $30 to $35, right in there somewhere. And I think that that is an excellent price for a well-designed, well, certainly thoughtfully designed and well-executed knife from Artisan. So, if you're looking for a modern slip joint with good materials that is well made from a company that stands behind its work, from a designer who has not only an excellent aesthetic, but also a really, really good eye on what makes a knife just work. That is really sort of Dylan Mallory's strong suit. That's his place, where he really knows what he's doing. The Biome here is an awesome choice for you. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you have enjoyed this knife and would like to see more like this, please subscribe. If you have any questions about the Biome or any of my knives, feel free to ask down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.